This is Nick Mayhew, three-time gold medalist and three-time world record holder, and you're listening to Power 98.5.
We don't play the social game. We are social. Power 98.5.
Hey, what's up? My name's Grant Kanoki. I'm a singer, songwriter, producer, and artist, and you're listening to Power 98.5.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, no matter where you're at in the world. You are in the Actors and Athletes studio with none other than myself, Stephen Cuoco, and Mr. Jake Jensen. Jake.
Yes, I'm here.
It's a great, 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 sunny, beautiful day.
I agree.
You sound amazing.
Well, thank you. I'm in my office, and outside I can see that it's a beautiful day and the sun is shining, so things are good.
You're back in LA, not Florida right now, right?
I am in LA, yes.
Oh, what's the weather like out there? I heard it's been getting burr.
Well, the nights are cool, and then my car, I was just driving a few minutes ago, and it said it was 97. So
What?
we're hot in the day and cool at night. So it's that interesting combo.
I would not have thought in LA it's going to be or still getting 97 degrees. That would be that way here in Vegas, but not LA.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a little cooler than that. But my car always registers a little bit hot, but it's close to 90, so it's warm.
Wow. So you're still in shorts.
Shorts and a t-shirt. Yes. My favorite outfit.
Congratulations on your fitness goals. You've been really knocking it out of the park on Instagram with showing us your current updates with your physique.
Yeah, I've been working hard, and then also just being really dialed in with the nutrition, which makes a big difference too. So I'm trying to not eat any processed foods, basically anything out of a box or a can. So it's been challenging, but I have a few friends and that are doing the same thing. So we're kind of supporting each other, but it's definitely, I'm seeing the results, which is nice.
So how long, honestly, has it been? Has it been a month, 2 months?
Well, I mean, it's been a process, but I've been really strict with the nutrition and over the last about 3 weeks. And I was actually just going to do it for a month, but I feel good. So I think I'm going to keep, I might add in a few things that I haven't been eating. Like, I love bread. I'm not going to eat a lot of bread, but I might add a little bit back in, or I've really cut back on dairy a huge amount. So it's been really dialed in for about 3 weeks, but it's been a process to get there over a couple months.
Well, you do look incredible. I am noticing a difference in your midsection. And here's the thing. What are you eating? Are you cooking more? Are you eating more vegan?
Well, I'm not vegan, but I'm definitely cooking a lot more. And I think that makes a big difference because it's so much easier to control what I'm eating when I fix it myself. I know what's going in it. And honestly, right now, it's just lots of lean protein. Mostly for me, that's grilled chicken, lots of veggies, minimal carbs, maybe a little quinoa or brown rice, but just a lot of lean protein and veggies. And honestly, I feel great. That's the thing is, I thought it's been hard in some ways, but I also feel so good that it's like, okay, this is working. I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing is I'm there right. I'm thinking about this right now. Like you inspired me so much to where we weren't planning on going into talking about health and nutrition today, but I don't mind, going on that topic because honestly, like you, I'm not vegan. I would say about 80 to 85%. If a dietitian or nutritionist would see what I'm eating, it would be considered vegan. I've never been much of a meat eater. So I do a lot of lentils. I do like wild rice at times. I enjoy bone broth soup. This is a time of year I make soup almost every day. I make it in a large batch where it lasts me for at least 3, maybe 4 days, and then I'll go make something new. A lot of chickpeas, a lot of beans, black beans, all of that. So are you incorporating that style of food in there, or are you still like with the steak and chicken more often than not?
Well, I'm only doing white meat right now, so fish and chicken. But for me, the problem I tried to be go vegan or at least vegetarian for about a month, and the problem is I really don't like beans and lentils. So the alternative protein sources for me was very challenging to not have the meat. I just didn't get enough protein at all. So, but I don't eat a ton of meat, but I definitely am limiting it to all lean white meat right now.
Have you ever had your blood type checked at all? Because I believe I'm A positive, so I fall into where I had all the tests done, and also check for allergies or allergens, if to see if I'm sensitive to anything. Is that I do fall in the scope of being someone that eats vegan. I mean, literally, I can thrive off of vegetables and beans and lentils and all of that every day. You put meat into my diet, I do start feeling like shit. I can get away with it once, but not back to back for several days.
Interesting. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm A positive too. My mom's O negative, and I think my dad's maybe I'm A negative. Which one's? I just know mine is pretty rare.
Well, I know blood
I should
types.
know this. My mom's O negative, which you can like she's universal, so her blood can be donated to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think my dad's A. If he's A, I got the A from my dad, and I'm A negative. I got the A from my dad and the negative from my mom.
So you are A type.
I am A type.
Okay,
definitely,
so you're in the same realm as myself. So you're lucky that you can do well. Fish, yeah, we're good to go with the fish. But it's impressive that you can incorporate chicken, because actually, you know what? I do well with chicken, but I basically been staying away to where I really don't eat none of that much. I'm enjoying being 85% vegan, to be honest, if not 90
well,
right now.
That's great. Yeah. I think I would go that way if I just don't, I'm not green beans I can do, but most beans I just not a huge fan of. So I think you have to find, what works and everyone's different.
How about to go into the fact, and we've got Alice today with us, Alice Kinney. Thank you for the love and support. She's giving us a shout out. Wow, thank you, Alice. That was unexpected. I know we did a soft push on this episode. We're going to do a hard push once the episode's done. And we're going to be re-airing it this coming week. But thank you, Alice, for being with us today. Alice, where are you from? Let us know where you're from. Type that in. If anyone who's listening, click that bottom instant messenger on the right-hand side, that icon right there, whether you're on the app or on the website. Oh, my God. She's from Nashville. I keep getting Nashville. So God, the universe, everybody, I will be getting to Nashville, Tennessee. Okay.
Nashville is one of my favorite cities. So
I've never been there. Never.
You've never been to Nashville?
Never. I've
Wow.
got friends that are there. They said, you got to come down. My one friend, he said, you've got to do karaoke with me, because he knows I never did karaoke. And
that's fun.
I've never been there.
Yeah, I mean the depth of musical talent there it blows me away every time. I mean, it's just any little, bar, cafe, place. There's always amazing singers, and it's just like, I mean, the talent there just is amazing.
Would you ever live there?
I don't know if I'd live there, but I definitely like to visit there.
Okay. Well, I'll keep you posted. If you and I don't go together, depending on when this can happen, and I know I want to do it, I've got to do it. Once again, I don't want to seem like I'm forcing myself. It's got to happen in 2024.
Well, let's manifest it and put it out there, and let's make it happen.
I just did it.
Good.
I just did it.
I haven't been there for a while, so I'm due for a visit to Tennessee.
Okay. Congratulations on your interview with Wake Up with Marcy. It's all over New York, on the local CBS. It's on Hulu. Bring us up to speed. I know that interview just came out. The promo videos are coming out. What were you talking about? I know you were sharing a lot when it comes to what you do in sports, but what did you really cover?
Yeah, you know what, it was interesting because I obviously had some idea of what we would cover, but that's what I like about, interviews and things is that it often goes in a direction you're not even planning on. And we ended up talking a lot more about the pressure and that kids face with sports and sports getting so specialized at such a young age and just the pressure and anxiety that causes. So we talked about obviously my background and my work as a sports psychologist, but really looking at it, how can as parents, as sports psychologists, as coaches, how can we take some of this pressure or think about helping these kids manage the pressure? Because it is just, I think like with everything, it's just becoming more and more specialized at a younger and younger age. And it's not easy at age 9 to already be 8 or 9 to already be, feeling like you're having to get a college scholarship or be a pro athlete. So that was, honestly, we talked about a bunch of things, but that was, I think the majority of the conversation really focused on helping like children manage stress and anxiety, particularly regarding sports.
Oh my God. All right. So thank you to my team. Did you get the link yet?
I'm not sure if I have. Let me look.
All right. If not, what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy, I'm going to paste it. All right. So we just pulled it up. Gmail. Let me get on over to here. I'm going to send this to you.
Great.
All right. Here we go. I love when this happens, especially when we do interviews and lives. It's so not traditional. I love it. All right. Here we go. Where is my email? Okay. Got to find you. But I've got to ask, I think it's Daniel. I got to ask him because that little promo thing, unless that's the promo that Marcy has for you where you were tagged in, and I know you shared that on Facebook.
Yeah, and on Instagram.
I'm wondering if that's the promo. So link. All right, so I'm sending it now. All right. So you were on with Shannon Jackson and Marcy Axelrod. I guess this is like a several part interview that had happened.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, she has multiple guests on, and I know one of her guests had been on just the previous show, so they were following up.
Well, Marcy, you end up seeing this. I'm commenting, and I did like it. All right, they shared it 7 days ago, and you're the first one that came up. Let's take a listen. Hold on.
Observe their thoughts and feelings without getting caught up in them. By practicing mindfulness regularly, we can develop greater self-awareness, emotional regulation, and a sense of calm and clarity. Imagine going through life feeling calm and peaceful. It is important to note that mindfulness is not a cure-all for mental health issues. I'm not saying it's a cure, but it's a tool that can be integrated into a comprehensive approach to well-being. It is often used in conjunction with other therapeutic modalities, such as CBT, to support individuals in managing in stress, anxiety, depression, and other mental health challenges. So I hope this has helped you to understand it a little bit better. And we have some great guests that are going to tell us more about how we can live a better life. Joining me now is actor, professor, and sports psychology consultant, Jake Jensen. Welcome to the show, Jake.
Thanks, Marcy. I appreciate it. It's good to be here.
Fantastic having you here. So I wanted to talk to you. I know you're an actor and you've done some great work, but as a sports psychologist, I mean, you're making such a difference for these college students that you're working with, these athletes. Why is this work so important for you?
You know, I went into sports psychology wanting to help athletes be able to maximize their performance. And, not everyone's going to be performing their best all the time, but they can do it on a more consistent basis. But this year, I mean, right now I'm over 300 athletes, 17 teams, and it's just, I really feel like there's so much pressure on Division I athletes, that they have so much they're dealing with all the time, that if I can help them just a little bit to manage that, to get more satisfaction out of their careers, which are relatively short. It's very rewarding to work with them.
Absolutely. And I know that people out there understand that there is a lot of pressure with that. But these kids are literally going through so much stress, trying to balance it all. And I'm sure the anxiety can be off the charts, almost difficult to perform sometimes. So how are you helping to get past that anxiety that these kids have?
Yeah, I mean, again, I have athletes that are from different countries, different states. They're adjusting to a whole different culture and world. Plus the pressure of, am I even going to start or play? And then, coaches are obviously under a lot of stress, and sometimes that feeds over to the athletes and they feel it. So I work with athletes on a range of techniques. We do a range of relaxation techniques, similar to some meditation, progressive muscle relaxation. There's a technique called autogenic training that I use a lot with athletes. And then we do a lot of guided imagery, visualization, breath work, just learning how to really use their breath to help manage anxiety in the moment. So it really depends on the individual what we start with, but those are just some of the techniques that I use with athletes.
All right, we were not planning on going into this, but it's beautiful to coincide of what we were going to be, or not were, we are going to be talking about today. One, you look incredible. Two, this interview is extremely polished. A big shout out. I just texted Marcy Hopkins, very good friend of mine. Head on over to Wake Up with Marcy. Check out this latest interview with Marcy Hopkins and Jake Jensen. It was just published 7 days ago? Oh no, it was actually published 1 day ago, yesterday, I guess. So Jake Jensen, Marcy Axelrod, and Shannon Jackson. Congratulations on this. You look fucking amazing.
Well, I look like I've been out in the sun a lot. I'll grant you that. All I have to do is be out in the sun for a couple hours and I turn bright red. So I need to maybe work on that a little bit. But thank you. I definitely feeling very healthy and good right now. Just need to tone down the red a little bit.
Aloe vera gel.
Yes, absolutely.
Or maybe a CBD cream. And I'm going to tell you, I use a cream moisturizer. And I was very picky as to where I was going to get it from. And I don't mind dropping it, but it's unfortunate they don't make it anymore. Beekman 182 or I think it's 180 or something like that. So they use goat milk in their products.
Oh, wow.
And they've got a farm up in New York State. And they made this CBD emollient type of cream. And I'm going to tell you, I put it on my feet because your pores are the largest on the bottoms of your feet. And I'm going to tell you, not only does it work well for my foot or my feet, keeping it moist and hydrated, but I do feel that I get a better night's sleep because you do get maximum absorption on anything when it's placed on the foot.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. But other than that, Alice, we're going to be talking about, and I'm going to get to it right now. Where are we? Because I sent it to you, Jake. All right, so this is what's important. It's called coinciding reflection. Reflection. And what I enjoy about this, Jake, with you and your recent interview with Marcy that was just published and posted a day ago, that's on Hulu, CBS Local New York, and many other platforms is, and you commented to me on this, and this is what I would like to share. Answer these 3 simple questions. And I'm going to tell you, I want to get better at this because you nailed it, Jake. This is really amazing. 1, what happened today that I'm grateful for? Answer that. Number 2, which actions moved me towards my goals? And then number 3, are there any changes I can make? I've got to ask you, I'm going to say that it's used to be my excuse was distraction. But I'm going to tell you, Jake, and share with me your perspective on this, whether personal, professional, otherwise, or maybe even with some of your athletes. I have a thought process that when I read something like this, and as powerful as it feels to me, I actually cannot stand journaling and writing things down. I never have been. I think to myself, I rather train my memory by remembering what I had said than keeping journals all over the place. Also because I can't stand having something around I'm not going to use. I actually stopped journaling because whether you want to say it's an OCD thing or whatever, I can't stand having stuff around. And especially to use it as a memorabilia, it annoys me. So with that being said, do you have anything to offer? What is your insight from this that I sent to you? And do you have any tips, maybe when we think about reflection? Because I would love to journal and write answers every day on this, but I prefer it to look at this, speak it out loud or internally, and figure out what the answers are without keeping a journal to try to remember everything.
Well, I'm the complete opposite of you. I love to journal, and I have for many years. And I have, I don't know, 50 journals on my bookshelf that I've written over the years, at least, probably more than that. But I think you're absolutely right. You have to find what works for you. I always say, it reminds me a little bit of like meditation. I have clients and athletes that I work with that are like, I can't meditate. I've tried it. It doesn't work. And I always go, that's fine. Like we've got to find what does work for you. So if journaling and writing that down is not for you, then it's figuring out other ways that you can get it, stored in your memory and you can remember things. I'm trying to, and I think what do you do, Steve? I'm just curious, when you want to remember something or have a thought.
I keep notes. I'll write it down. So there's a difference between, and I love it, and it's, for memory purposes and for cognization, is I trust my memory, and I believe, thanks to genetics, I come from and I have a photographic memory. I come from a family that has exceptional memory within itself of my mom, my brother, my aunts, my uncles. I will say that every day I wake up and I go to bed thankful. And I would say what helps me is when I speak it out loud, because something happens to me that when I speak it out loud, I feel tingly sensations. I feel like I'm prophesizing something. I'm putting something into existence. When you think it, feel it, believe it, that's the Trinity. And I've always said divinity, to make it divine, is you have to use your free will to put it into action. And when I speak something into action, I feel the movement. I feel the activation. So I hope that answers your question. To me, that's better than writing something down and going back. Not that I have a problem with memory, but I also will tell you is that there are a lot of interesting thoughts and emotions that go through me, and I wouldn't want someone to find my journal.
Yeah, no, I certainly when I'm writing in my journal, there's a certain level of censoring that goes on just because, who at some point is going to read it. But for me, it's still a very useful I think what writing does for me is what speaking it out loud does for you. And that's just, we're different in that way. And, the good thing is you're in a career and a job that you talk to people and speak all the time. So I think that's also what you're really, that's your wheelhouse. But yeah, I think, again, you just have to find what works for you. If I tried to give every athlete the same, same mental training skills and expected them to work for everyone the same way, I would not be good at my job. So I think absolutely you have to find what ways. I know for me, I've always considered myself having a pretty good memory, but I have so much going on now, balancing acting, sports psychology, all of the things I have going on that if I don't write it down, I simply I can't remember it. So for me right now, that's even more essential than it used to be.
Something I would like to touch on, and you nailed it in a very clever way without possibly realizing it. But this is the thing, and here's what I would like to get your thought on. I am someone that does not enjoy being censored, and I find that when I notice and recognize that I'm censoring something about myself, my thoughts, and my feelings, something always happens and it works against me. And then I have to go back into that self-counsel self to rectify some sort of limiting belief that I created. And I stopped doing that a long time ago. So for yourself, you brought up about censoring. Do you feel that as someone as highly educated and intellectual as you are, does self-censoring work? And does that work for everyone? And do you recommend that for certain people? Because I'm one that it totally goes against.
Well, I think, going back to my journaling, although I am sometimes aware of the censoring, I've gotten a lot better at realizing that the more true and authentic I am, I'm in a much better place emotionally, mentally, and in my life. So, and I think that's really true for life in general. The more real, the more authentic we are as human beings, that's what ultimately, to be our best selves, I think we have to be that. So I try not to censor, but I still am aware of it sometimes. And I just try to catch myself and go, I don't care who reads this. This is me, and this is important that I express and I'm authentic. I also think acting has helped me with that because it allows me to explore feelings and things as not myself as a character, but it gives me like a safe space to do that. So I think that's helped me as well. Interestingly, being an actor has helped me not to censor as much because I just allowed feelings and things to flow. But yes, I definitely don't think censoring is a very good solution for anyone. And we all censor in certain situations. I'm not going to say exactly what I think or feel, but for the most part, I try to be as authentic as possible.
I appreciate you for that. And why is because this is what I love most. And I trust in improvisation and spontaneity more than anything else. As much as we know, Jake, there are people who need scripts. There are people who need to get prepped. I have absolutely no fear going into something completely unscripted because I had an idea. I sent it to you. You loved it or liked it.
Yeah.
Then, coincide your interview with Wake Up with Marcy just came out. We touched points on that. To get to the root to, if you were going to say what happened today, that I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for many things, but more importantly, as of right now at 2:41 p.m. Pacific time, is how you touched on, and it resonated throughout my entire body of what you just said, authenticity. So the whole purpose of the show, the idea that I had was reflection. But realistically, in this conversation with you, it's about authenticity. And how many people are struggling with that right now to even have the courage to ask themselves, what am I grateful for?
Yeah. And I think it's a difficult time for a lot of people to ask that right now, because there's so much going on in political turmoil and so much stuff that I think people are almost afraid, to be in that reflective mode and to think about what I'm really grateful for, but I think it's probably even more important right now than ever.
Mm-hmm.
I know it was good for me to think about that today.
Having a wow moment right now. Having a wow moment. Which actions moved me towards my goals? I would say that what I appreciate most is having this show with you in the Actors and Athletes Studio with Stephen Cuoco and Jake Jensen. And I believe that the effects of what I'm feeling right now with you, that is, once again, the number 2, which actions moved me towards my goals, is this was much needed that I felt, and I am feeling with you, is it's propelling me and moving me forward. That in this moment, that's what I'm grateful for. I feel that in this moment with this show today, how it's going to propel and move us forward. And to speak for myself is, as I'm processing with you, Jake, I want to thank you because there is a lot happening that people don't know in our lives right now. And I believe in a lot of great way have how grateful and blessed we are that we're capable and able to live our goals and our dreams and our ambitions to be where we are at now. And I have it on pause, but I'm here looking at you freeze framed on Wake Up with Marcy on her YouTube channel right here. And it's just astounding from when we first met to when we started working together to now here. I'm extremely grateful to what you have shown and shared. And I'm going to close by saying this, to thank you and this opportunity without realizing it in reflection, that I did not realize how successful I am until this moment.
Interesting. That's pretty deep. Now I'm having a wow moment.
Seriously.
Yeah. That's great.
I'm actually feeling even vicariously through you from seeing you here on this freeze frame on Wake Up with Marcy. I'm feeling success for us individually, us together as a team. And that's something that is in my prayer every day. And success can mean many different things to people. It could mean someone who has trouble walking that was able to walk without a walker that day and they were able to use a cane. Or someone that had digestive issues, or, like you, that's getting in better health, and you change up certain things and you're like, wow, oh my God, I cut bread out, or, I start working out more, or doing this and that. Your sleep habits are better. Your breathing's better. It really is. When they say it takes a mustard seed to move mountains, I'm going to tell you, I'm having some revelation right now where these are our mustard seeds.
Yeah. It's really interesting what you said, what defines success. I've been working with our women's soccer team at the university where I teach, and I've been working with them twice a week for a couple of months, and just to see the growth in them over the last couple of months, to me, that's success. So I'll just give a quick example. They lost a game the other night on a late penalty kick. It was not a very good, I think it was an unfair foul. They were pretty devastated. I met with them yesterday, and they had moved on. They were, we're good. We're okay. We're ready for our next game. And I'm not taking all the credit for that, but to just see that they're grateful to be competing and playing and having more opportunities, it hit me, wow, that's a success. And I've had a tiny piece in that of helping them, I think, grow as athletes, but grow, as human beings as well in terms of what they appreciate. And success is such an interesting thing to try to define, but something as small as just seeing a team or a person you're working with being in a better place themselves, and I feel that I've grown a lot, Stephen, since we've worked together. And that's also success and satisfying. So I love that you brought that up, because success can take so many different forms.
And I appreciate that. And thank you. And I say thank you because I felt that. I truly do still feel what you just had said. And it's incredible when someone, as much belief as you have in yourself and determination, you know what it's like. You do multiple things to sustain even your own happiness, including how, when you're sharing with us on social media, your garden and your flowers.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm having a moment to where, like, I'm forcing myself to talk right now because the reflection is so subtle, but yet feels absolutely deep and powerful. And this was unexpected.
Yeah. Yeah. But I appreciate the topic you had, even though we've kind of gone into authenticity and other things, that still the core is being grateful. And I think that's so key. And maybe some days it feels like there's only one thing you can think of to be grateful for. But if you can always find that one thing, like you said, it's a mustard seed. It grows, and it's important to realize that every day.
We just got a message. I'm going to call Marcy. Hold on. Uh-oh, Marcy. Okay, because Marcy just texted. She's like, where is she? Hi, I wish I could jump on. Hopefully good stuff. I said, yes, gonna call. I just feel like sitting back in my chair right now and just... I'm looking out my window right now at the sphere and the trees and the sun, and all I have to say is, wow, Jake.
Yeah. Yeah, I almost feel like I shouldn't say anything.
Doesn't it?
It's like, no. I mean, it's not like we're on radio, so I better say something, but I don't really feel like saying anything right now.
Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and play another clip from Jake's recent interview on Wake Up with Marcy.
The idea that they might be in a Division I school.
Yeah, I think the more we can introduce what I call mental training or these techniques to manage stress, anxiety, the earlier we can do that, the better it will be. I mean, I didn't work with a sports psychologist till after college, where I feel like if I had had that training as a teen, it would have helped me so much in my own athletic and acting, journey as well. It's definitely made a difference. So one thing I'm really trying to do right now is have my graduate students volunteer in the high schools and work with different athletes and different teams. But we have a long way to go in our field of getting into more youth sport and working with teens. The glamour is in working with professional athletes or Olympic teams. But honestly, I think the biggest difference we can make is if we can really work on trying to get it, at the youth sport level, and especially for teens.
Absolutely. And learning to cope, like you're talking about, learning to cope and have these mental exercises prior to reaching a bigger scope like that, where the expectations are so big.
And that's the biggest thing. And I'm going to say, Jake, and it's not even aha moment, or maybe it is. It's just, these are all things to where speaking and conversation and communication is so imperative, not just within ourselves, but even in this moment of, I had no idea what our interview and our show was going to be like today. We did not have anything scripted out. I sent you a screenshot, for crying out loud, of an idea of what I would like to talk about, when it came to, reflection. Your thoughts, my friend?
Yeah, I mean, I feel always more authentic when I'm not scripted, and I think that comes from, I've taught for the last 10 years. I never have notes when I teach. I fortunately know the information pretty well, but I like to do things unscripted, and I think it's much more fun that way. I think it's much more authentic and genuine and interesting. So I approach radio the same way when I'm on a show, no matter whether I'm on with you or Marcy or whoever. It's good to have an overall idea of the topic, but it's so much more engaging, at least for me, to just see where it goes. And I think that scares some people. I get it, but it's also really, it's very satisfying. So I encourage everyone to throw the notes and the script out, whatever you do in your life, and just wing it. And not wing it, but not be too glued to a script.
Or controlled.
Absolutely.
You got to figure, hey, the universe, the sun, the stars, the moon, everything, it's not controlled. It already knows what it is. It has an understanding as to its purpose, and it just lives it. It does it.
Yeah.
That's what we are supposed to be doing as humans. But man, has human beings really got themselves so contrived into having everything be regulated and regimented and forced to be understood, when our people, the question I have is, when we think about gratitude, is are people really living, or are they just existing to just be on command? That's not a life to be on command all the time.
No, I absolutely agree. And I think it's what you do career-wise, but also what you're bringing home. It filters into all aspects of life. So I think it's certainly important, no matter what. I don't separate like my work life and my individual life in the sense of the way I try to approach it. Because I think when we try to compartmentalize that too much, then it becomes very difficult to do. Like it's okay to be under command from somebody else at work, but then I'll get away from that. But I think it's just important to, again, going back to the authenticity and taking control and being grateful should be filtering through all aspects of our lives.
I like that. I appreciate that. Wow. What a day.
Good day.
Great day. Because we're here. We're together. I'm feeling fulfilled.
Yeah.
How about you?
I am. And, when you were talking about being grateful, I mean, it just hit me today is I'm grateful for the fact that Marcy can be in New York and I'm on her show. You're in Vegas and I'm in LA and we can be doing this. That technology has just allowed connections and reaching different audiences in a way that we've never had in the history of the world. And I know it brings its own problems, but what an amazing thing that we can be connected across this vast, country and really world. I don't know. It just hit me how important that is, how great that is.
I agree. What a fulfilling this is, and I'm grateful. I'm feeling this, and thank you for that closing right there, Jake. I'm feeling it. Here's another gift I'm grateful for. And here's another thing I'm grateful for. It's only almost 3:00 in the afternoon. I feel like I did my morning walk / run today. I had my gratitude time to myself a couple times today. I'm excited for today. Thank you for that. I mean, it's not even 3:00, and I'm excited as to how amazing and phenomenal today is going and the rest of the day is going to be. So thank you for that.
Well, I feel the same way. I have to go do my taxes now, so I'm very grateful to have had this good part of the day.
Wait a minute.
I'm one of those that put it off till the very last second. I filed for an extension in April, and they're now October 16th is the deadline tomorrow. So I'm one of those people that put it off way too long, but I will get it done.
Okay, so that's the opposite of you and I. I like to have to get everything done early before a deadline.
Yeah, I have some procrastination parts of me that are not the very best parts of me, but that's the way it is.
That's why you and I balance each other out so well. I'm
Exactly.
Very happy about that. Very happy. I hope you don't have to say anything, but I just want to say, I hope you get a surprise and you get tons and tons of money back and then realize, oh my God, what the hell did I procrastinate and wait for? And if that is not the case, I still want to put that out there for you.
I appreciate that very much.
Any closing thoughts at all, Jake?
No, I just would say encourage everyone to spend a minute or 2 minutes a day recognizing what to be grateful for, because it makes a big difference. It doesn't have to be what we think about all day long but the more we can just incorporate little pieces of gratitude, I think throughout the day makes a huge difference. So that would be my takeaway message.
I like that. Thank you again to everyone. Thank you to Alice for tuning in to In the Actors and Athletes Studio with Stephen Cuoco and Jake Jensen. Plan on listening to this live episode this coming week. It's going to be throughout the week, actually throughout the rest of the month. If you have any questions or want to share any more shout outs, remember, click that bottom icon, the messenger in the right-hand corner on the app or on the website, and share with us your love, your support. If you have any questions, shout outs, anything at all, I love the fact that you guys are taking full advantage of that messenger. That's why we have it. That's why we utilize it. And also, if you'd like to send us an email, you can email us at power98.5radio@gmail.com or contact@power985.com. Jake, besides taxes, what else is for the rest of the day?
Well, I'm headed to Florida tomorrow, so I need to pack. And then, yeah, that's probably pretty much what taxes and packing. Okay. That's what I need to do today.
But overall in all, you're grateful for all of it, right?
I am grateful for it all. Yes.
Good. Jake, I always appreciate you. You always bring more warmth and light and happiness into my life, and I appreciate you for that.
Well, right back at you, and I appreciate you saying that.
Thank you. Thank you once again, everyone, for the love, the support, the encouragement. In the Actors and Athletes Studio with Stephen Cuoco and Jake Jensen, all the latest and greatest and best. If you happen to not be available to listen to the live, either today or when we re-air it, you can always go to any one of my podcast platforms: iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify, and Amazon Audible, and it will be there. Just Google or look up Live on Air with Stephen Cuoco. I'm not too sure if we may get to a point where we're gonna have it separated from Live on Air with Stephen Cuoco. I like the fact to where we're like a one-stop shop to where everything is there. And so right now, once again, if you're unavailable to listen to the live on Power 98.5, we will have it available today. Just go and look up on any of your favorite podcast platforms, Live on Air with Stephen Cuoco, and it will be there. Once again, have a great day. Have a great weekend. I feel like I'm in Monday already. And don't forget, it's on YouTube. So don't feel like, oh my goodness, I don't live in New York. I can't watch the episode with Jake Jensen on Wake Up with Marcy. It's available on YouTube. If you got a Hulu account, it's on Hulu. Either way, go to YouTube. It's free. It's available. You don't need to wait. And you got and heard parts of that today. Remember, I'm going to pull it up for you right now. We are going to remember to appreciate and reflect on the fact of when we think about reflection. And how the heck did there we go. I was like, where the heck? There's no way I missed it. All right. Reflection and authenticity. Answer these 3 simple questions. What happened today that I'm grateful for? Which actions moved me towards my goals? And then lastly, are there any changes I can make? Have a great day, everyone.
Friend us on your socials and let's connect.